Let's make this delicious one-pot ayoyo soup. If you have not seen the video of how to make the authentic zaafi and ayoyo soup, the popular version, I have it here on my channel and I'm going to link it up here. You can go and watch it. In this video, I'm going to show you a different method of cooking your zaafi and ayoyo soup. It's a one-pot dish. It's quick and easy to make. You don't need to cook separate dishes. It's just everything in one pot. You make this recipe on days where you want to change things up or make it a little bit different. I served this soup with the millet zaafi, which I will share the recipe in my next video because I didn't want this video to be too long. If you want to know how I made that millet zaafi, make sure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to leave the notification bell on so that when I upload that video, you'll be one of the first people to be notified. Without wasting too much time, let me go ahead and introduce the ingredients, do a few prep, and then we start cooking. This is Lami Cooks and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to use some very fresh ayoyo leaves, some palm oil. I also have here my mixed meat. I'm using like the cow stomach, which comprises of the liver, the sweetbread, the intestine, and then the other one we call it the towel in Ghana. And I also have here some beef, some chopped onions, and I also have here some tomato. I'm using just one big tomato blended with peppers here, roughly blended. I also have here some herrings that I've broken into pieces. My mixed spices, if you watch my channel, you know this recipe already. I have the video here, I'll link it up there for you. I have here some dawa dawa, some kang, and I also have here some shrimp powder. I have here some mixed spices. It's garlic powder, ginger powder, paprika, onion powder, and black pepper, which I'm going to use to season my fish. I don't have a smoked one, so I'm using the fresh mackerel, which I'm going to use to season and then grill it and use it for the soup. I have here some wagashie that has already been deep fried, and it was from the deep freezer, so you can see the frost on it. To start off, I'm going to season my mackerel. I did not have a smoked mackerel, so I had to do with a fresh one. So I'm going to add all the dry spices, the paprika, the ginger powder, the garlic powder, and then the black pepper and onion powder, and then I'll go ahead and salt it. I'll add a little olive oil to help the spices stick to the fish. If you have time, you can marinate it longer, but I did mine for 10 minutes. Leave it for 10 minutes in the fridge. After that, you can just grill it in the oven. I wanted it fast, so I'm using my air fryer here. I'll just put it in my air fryer and then use the setting on my air fryer to make sure it's grilled properly. Once it's halfway done, I'll flip it around and let the other side also grill. If you are using any type of fresh fish for this recipe, make sure you season it before you grill and then you use. It gives the fish some extra flavor. I have picked my ayoyo and thoroughly washed it. I'm going to go ahead and run my knife through it just to chop it up, not too finely, but just to break it down a little bit. If you want to see detailed video of how I picked the ayoyo, you can watch my previous ayoyo and zaafi recipe. In that video, I thoroughly showed how I picked the ayoyo leaves. Whilst I'm chopping the ayoyo, I have some water boiling on fire. I'll then go ahead and add my cow that I've soaked so that to get rid of the sand. Then I'll add my ayoyo that I've chopped. If you don't have the cow, you can use bicarbonate of soda. About a teaspoon should be fine. I'll cook it for 5 minutes until the leaves are cooked and it begins to draw. At this stage it is ready, so I'll set it aside. To another pot, I'm going to go ahead and add my palm oil. Once the palm oil is hot, I'll go ahead and add my meat. I'm going to add all the cow stomach, the intestine and everything, including the beef. I'll add some chopped onions, some mixed spices and then some salt to taste. I'll give it a stir so that everything is well combined, and I'll let it cook for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'll then go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. I'll add some more chopped onions, the blended tomato and pepper, the dawa, the herrings and then the shrimp powder. I'll give it a stir until everything is well combined, and then I'll cover to cook for another 5 to 7 minutes. At this stage, I'll go ahead and add the calabash nutmeg or the African nutmeg. I usually like to toast it a little bit before I grind it, so it's been toasted and then grinded into powder. This gives it that extra flavor, so I usually want to add it to the soup. I'll go ahead and add the deep fried wagashie and then my grilled fish. I'll give it a stir and let it cook for another 3 to 5 minutes to make the wagashie and the fish absorb some of the flavors from the soup. At this stage, if you want to add any extra seasoning, you can do so. My stew has been cooking for the past 3 minutes. Look at that yumminess. I'm now going to introduce the ayoyo we cooked earlier on back into the soup. Look at that green color. Oh, I love it. I love that color. At this stage, I will stir until it is well combined. Now I'll go ahead and add some red pepper for extra heat and for garnish as well, and then I'll correct my seasoning. At this stage, I'm cooking my soup at the lowest setting because once you give it too much heat, you're going to lose the viscosity or the drawness of the ayoyo. So make sure you're cooking this at the lowest setting for extra 2 to 3 minutes. My one-pot ayoyo soup is ready to be served. If you've watched this video till now, thank you so much for sticking around with me. Also, don't forget to help me by clicking on the like button and subscribing to this channel so that you don't miss any recipes from me. I will also encourage you to support what I do by sharing this video with family and friends. Until I come your way again with another yummy-licious recipe, stay tuned, be blessed, bye.